Welcome to today's lecture where we are going to learn about half-range cosine series in the interval 0, pi. Till last class we were examining about Fourier series, which is a summation of cosine series plus sine series. But in physical phenomena, in many situations, we may need to represent the equation of motion only in terms of cosine series or only in terms of sine series. So in such situations, we may need to find the half range series for such problems. So first let us see the definition of the cosine series and sine series in this class. The half range cosine series in the interval 0 to pi is given by f of x equal to a naught by 2 plus summation an cos nx, where an is 2 by pi 0 to pi f of x dx. So if you observe this, we have only the cosine terms, not the sine terms here, which actually would have got derived from the original Fourier series by assuming the function as an even function, that is the even extension. So that is why we know, like, for even function bn will be 0. So from there we get these Fourier cosine series. Similarly, we can get Fourier sine series also. So Fourier sine series in 0, pi is given by f of x equal to sigma bn sin nx, where of course bn is 2 by pi 0 to pi f of x sin nx dx. Now we shall see an application problem. Look at this one. In view of COVID-19, a person with depression got treatment by a psychiatrist. It is observed that he was mentally disturbed and his brain waves were similar to the graph of x sin x as given below. After giving an intense counseling, the psychiatrist wishes to analyze the patient's improvement through the brain waves, which are preferably to look like smooth cosine waves. So represent the function x sin x as cosine series. So this is the problem, and the graph also is given. You can observe the graph is the graph of x sin x is given. So when we observe this problem, especially it is regarding brain waves in human mind. So actually the brain waves take different forms. It will not be uniform every time. So these are the different forms of human brain waves. Like whenever a person is away concentrating in work, it may be taking a different form. Like I think it is here beta form. And when he is relaxing or doing some meditation, the form is taking that alpha form. Or when a person is in deep relaxation, another form the brain waves are taking. And similarly, when the person is in a deep sleep, I think the waves are in delta form. So this is a overline picture, like I'm just giving regarding the human brain waves. So we observe the human brain waves take different forms according to the situation of a person. So if a person is mentally depressed, the wave seems to be more wavering. And when a person becomes very calm and mentally free, like the waves becomes more smoother. So this particular example, the psychiatrist wants to know whether the counseling has been effective, which was given to a person who was mentally depressed due to this COVID-19 issue. Even all of us are facing the situation now. And when we look at this graph, like approximately representing his brain waves before the counseling, it was x sin x, and we need to represent that as cosine waves like this. So our work now here is to represent the function x sin x as a cosine series. So let us take the time period as 0 to pi, because similarly the same problem can be done in any other time interval also. So to express the function x sin x as a Fourier cosine series, that is going to be our task now. So Fourier sine cosine series, the formula is f of x equal to a naught by 2 plus the summation an cos nx, where a0 and an are given by these formulae. First, let us find a0, which is given by 2 by pi 0 to pi f of x dx, and substitute what is f of x, x sin x. Now look at this term. It is integral of product of two terms. So the rule which we need to apply is Bernoulli's rule of integration. So let us remember that rule, which is given by keeping the first term into integrating the second, minus differentiate the first into integrate the second, plus differentiate the first into integrate the second, and it goes like that. Now we shall apply this rule here. So which is going to be 2 by pi. When we keep the first term x into sin x, when we integrate, we get minus cos x. Minus, now differentiating the first, x when we differentiate, 1. Integrate second. What is the second term? Minus cos x. So that when we integrate, we get minus sin x. So this is the integral, and now we need to apply the limit. So when we apply the upper limit, we have 2 by pi minus pi cos pi plus sin pi minus the lower limit. When we put x equal to 0, the value will be 0. So this is the answer. And the values of cos pi and sin pi, do you remember? Yeah, they are given by cos pi will be minus 1 and sin pi will be 0. So when you substitute cos pi as minus 1 and sin pi as 0, you will get the final answer of a0 as 2 by pi into pi. So which is going to be 2. Next, let us move on to finding an. An is given by 2 by pi 0 to pi f of x cos nx dx, which is again substituting the value of f of x as x sin x. We have like this. Now, here we have sine into cos. There are three terms. Actually, we cannot apply Bernoulli's rule now directly since we have three factors. So, what shall we do? Yeah, remember this formula, sine A into cos B. Is it not of this sort? So sine A into cos B, we know it is sine A plus B plus sine A minus B by 2. So let us replace that sine and cosine terms using this formula like this. So sine x into cos nx will be sine A plus B, so n plus 1 into x, plus sine A minus B, so 1 minus n into x divided by 2. So that 2 I have taken out. Now when you look at this term, it is having only two factors. The first term is x, and the second term we can consider as sin n plus 1x plus sin 1 minus n into x. And when we integrate this now, our 1 by pi into, keep the first x into integrate the second. So when we integrate the second term, what we get? Sin when we integrate minus cos. So minus cos n plus 1x divided by n plus 1, because sin ax when we integrate, what we get? Minus cos ax divided by a. So here that constant is n plus 1. Similarly, sin 1 minus n into x when we integrate, we get minus cos 1 minus n into x divided by 1 minus n. Now the next we need to proceed further as minus differentiate the first. Now when we differentiate the first term, we get 1 into integrate the second. What is the second term now? Minus cos n plus 1x by n plus 1. That when we integrate, we get cos. When we integrate, we get sine. So minus cos, when we integrate, we get minus sine. Minus sine n plus 1x divided by, again n plus 1 will come. So already one n plus 1 is sitting there. So we have totally n plus 1 square. Similarly, minus sine 1 minus nx divided by 1 minus n will come. Already 1 minus n is sitting there. So totally 1 minus n the whole square. Now remember, sin n pi, sin n plus 1 pi, sin n minus 1 pi, all these values are 0. So when we substitute these values as 0, we have the value of an as 1 by pi, pi into only the cosine terms. And now remember, cos n pi has a value. And before that, like small modification we have done here. Minus cos 1 minus n into pi in the first term, we had changed as minus cos n minus 1 into pi. Since cos of minus theta is cos theta, we need to change that here as n minus y, because cos n pi is minus 1 power n. So if we have 1 minus n, then it will not be appropriate. Since n is greater integer starting from 1, it is appropriate to write n minus 1. Now in the place of cos n plus 1 pi and cos n minus 1 pi, let us substitute this formula. What is cos n pi? Minus 1 power n. So what is cos n plus 1 pi? Minus 1 power n plus 1. Very simple. Similarly, cos n minus 1 pi is going to be minus 1 power n minus 1. So substituting these. And next, when you see minus 1 power n plus 1, totally we will have minus 1 power n plus 2. Similarly, this minus I am attaching along with the minus 1 power n minus 1. So making that as plus, we have minus 1 power n. And now you can observe minus 1 power n plus 2 is the same as minus 1 power n, because it will be minus 1 power n into minus 1 squared, which is going to be 1. So it is minus 1 power n itself. So let us substitute that. So value of an will become minus 1 power n sitting both sides, I mean both the terms. So we have taken that minus 1 power n common out. Inside we have 1 by n plus 1 plus 1 by n minus 1. Just we need to take LCM now. So when we take LCM, we will get this answer 2 by 1 minus n squared. So this is the value for an. But when you observe, there is a problem here, because the denominator is 1 minus n squared. Actually, our constants an starts from n equal to 1 to infinity. So n equal to 1, 2, 3, and goes like that. But here, especially when you put n equal to 1, what will happen? We have undefined term, right? Like when we put n equal to 1, it becomes infinity. So this is the value for an, but it is not valid for n equal to 1. So we have to exclude that case n equal to 1 here. So this is the answer of an, but not for 1. So in this problem, we have reached a specific situation where an value is not valued for 1. So what happens to that value a1? We need to find a1, right? Like that is still pending. So we have to find a1 now, but separately. So let us go to find a1. If you remember, the formula for an was 2 by pi 0 to pi f of x cos nx dx. So what is going to be a1? It is going to be f of x cos 1x. Instead of nx cos nx, we have to put now n as 1. So that is why we have x sin x into cos 1 into x, that is cos x dx. Now let us find the value of this integral. If you observe sin x into cos x and 1, 2 sitting out, there is a famous formula 2 sin theta cos theta is sin 2 theta. So if we club that 2 sin x cos x, we can rewrite this a1 as 1 by pi 0 to pi x into sin 2x dx. Since it has become just two factors now, we can use the Bernoulli's rule. So what is Bernoulli's rule? Do you remember? Keeping the first term x into integrate the second. Sin 2x when we integrate minus cos 2x by 2 minus differentiate the first x when we differentiate 1 and integrate the second cos when we integrate sin. So minus sin 2x divided by, again 2 will come, so by 4. That's all. Integration is over because the first term has become now constant. So next when we proceed, differentiating the first will become 0. So this is the value of the integration. Now we have to apply the limit. Now when we apply the limit, we will have cos 2 pi, sin 2 pi, cos 0 and all. These are the values we have to remember. Cos 2 pi is 1, sin 2 pi will be 0. So when we apply the limit, what we have? 1 by pi into, in the place of x, the upper limit, when we substitute pi, we have the first term as cos 2 pi will become 1. So minus pi by 2. And sin 2 pi is going to be 0. That is the upper limit. Minus the lower limit. In the place of x, when we put 0, it's going to be 0. So this is the ultimate answer of a1, which is minus half. So let us now bring all the values whatever we have got so far. a0 was 2, a1 is minus half, and an is this value. and we are going to substitute all these in the half range cosine series. So this is the Fourier cosine series formula. F of x equal to a naught by 2 plus summation a n cos n x. So f of x is going to be a naught by 2. A naught was 2, so by 2 will be 1. And here one specific thing we need to do, we have to separate that a1 term outside. So from the summation, when we push out to the first term a1 into cos x out, we will have a1 cos x separately coming out. So in the place of a1, when we substitute minus half, we have minus half into cos x plus, now the summation will be an cos n x, but it should start from 2. So 2 to infinity. So student, I hope you would have understood how to find half-range cosine series and sine series, especially in the interval 0, pi. Hence, I feel you can solve these problems easily. Just try it. In this lecture, we learnt about half-range cosine series in the interval 0, pi. In the next class, we shall learn about the same half-range cosine series, but in an interval 0, L. Thank you.